How do you take this? I didn't take a screenshot. You're speaking to it.
Esteemed guests and members of PSQ Nation, please express your enthusiasm by typing excited along with your location in the comment box. For example, type excited from Manila, Philippines, and we look forward to recognizing you shortly. And welcome to the first webinar session of 2024 organized by the Philippine Society for Quality, and we are delighted to have you with us. I am Dr. Zandra N. Maningas, your host for today's event, holding the role of Vice President for Philippine Quality Award Administration at the Philippine Society for Quality. I am thrilled to guide you through our program, and we are seeing so many excited phrases already in our Zoom space. We have from Christine Deza Restar, excited from Alabang. We also have our very own President Dr. Ray from Makati, Ms. Fides Avendan from Valenzuela, Philippines, and what's that? Malvin Bernal from Pasig City, Philippines. Welcome everyone to this first international webinar of the Philippine Society for Quality, this 2024. And please be informed that this event is supported by Way Forward and PSQ Foundation. And we are kicking off the Society's 2024 monthly webinar with a bang because today's session is an international webinar titled Shifting from Linear to Circular Economy, Need and Impact. So get ready for an insightful discussion. And today we embark on a journey to unravel the pressing need for transitioning from a linear to a circular economy and the profound impact it carries across our global landscape. In this world confronted with unprecedented environmental challenges, our responsibility to embrace sustainable practices has never been more crucial. So join us as we decode the essence of this imperative transition, shedding light on why it's not just an option, but our responsibility and obligation. And this linear economy, with its take, make this cost approach has been the status quo for a very long time. However, with mounting concerns about resource depletion, waste accumulation, and climate change, a paradigm shift is our economic model. In our economic model is imperative. So our esteemed panel of experts is here to address the pivotal question: why is transitioning to a circular economy not just beneficial, but absolutely necessary for the future of our planet? So get ready to be enlightened, inspired, and equipped to be an agent of positive change, and welcome to the forefront of sustainable transformation. So this afternoon, we are very happy to have two experts to discuss the said topic, and I'm very humbled to present our first resource speaker. He is an author, speaker, board member, and a fellow of the American Society for Quality, and the CEO of Quality Indeed Consulting. He advocates for UN SDGs and a circular economy in the UAE and the Middle East. He initiated and completed a project on circular economy and the built environment, which was released during COP28 in the UAE. And he co-authored articles, designed and delivered training sessions, and conducted workshops on circular economy for both the private and public sectors. And he has successfully completed several projects for the United Nations and was a recipient of the ASQ Lancaster Medal. Our speaker lives in Abu Dhabi, UAE. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Sunil Sawani. And our second speaker is a senior management consultant at Quality Indeed Consulting with a career that spans across various industries, including hospitality, finance, media, manufacturing, government, and oil and gas. And she is a circular economy advocate and enthusiast actively involved in co-designing and delivering numerous training sessions on circular economy, both locally in the UAE and regionally. And she is also engaged in a project on circular economy in the built environment in the UAE. And she has also co-authored several articles with Sunil Sawani on circular economy. She also resides in Dubai, UAE. So please, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Marina Ukacheva. Our speakers, welcome to our international webinar, Sir Sunil and Ms. Marina. Hi. The Zoom space is yours.
Okay. Hi, good afternoon, everyone, and congratulations for the first PSQ webinar inviting us. I'm Sunil.
And I'm Marina. Very good to be here. So let's start.
Let's start. Yeah. You see, this many of you may have heard about this word circular economy. It's a new paradigm. It's a new way of looking at the business. It is also an agenda for businesses to transform their businesses. When you dig into earth, you discover very precious metals. You, as quality professionals, you have been championing the change in your country, in your organizations. Here is a wonderful opportunity for you. How you can use your systems thinking, competencies, driving out waste, using the principles of circular economy. So let's dive in, and over to you, Marina.
All right. So let us start with a question. Me and Sunil, we honestly don't like lecturing. We like interactions. So here's the QR screen on the QR code on the screen. Please scan it to join the session. We will have a few other questions also throughout this webinar. And answer the question, what do you think? What is the smartest system in the world that has been existing for billions of years? Please do not, forget about your professional domain right now. Think wide. And yeah, so again, yeah, we can see that 11 people for now joined. So don't be worried as well. There will be no names on the screen. Yes, excellent. So we see one of the answers already. Evolution. So we will see just your whatever you type on the screen. We will see economic system.
Very good.
Okay. Yeah, I'll repeat the question. What do you think? What is the smartest system in the world that has been existing for billions of years? Billions of years is quite long, huh? Maybe economy, I'm not sure. Natural system, okay. Let's see more opinions.
Good to see good participation and good attendance, about 50 people. Wonderful, Dr. Ray and Dr. Zandra.
See, and by the way, the largest word that appears, that means that people type this more.
Yeah.
So we have more people opting for solar system and ecosystem.
Yeah. Larger the font, greater the answers for that.
Yeah, okay. Let's wait for another a few options. Interesting to see. What do you think? What is the smartest system in the world that has been existing for billions of years? Composting. I like that.
Yeah.
Universe. Universe
Absolutely.
itself, that's true. Okay. Ecosystem. I think ecosystem now is leading,
Yeah.
right? Ecosystem, solar system. All right. So let us now share our opinion, and we actually agree with you, and we think it is nature.
Yeah.
Uh, the thing is that, see, we know for a fact that humans are relatively young on this planet, right? We know that human civilizations rise and fall, and in contrary, nature exists for about 3 billion years, and as I always say, it will continue with us or without. So the biggest question now, is about us. Nature is incredibly self-sustainable. Think about it. Like, there is no concept of waste in nature, right? Every species become food for another species. End of life things become food for other forms of life, right? And work to enrich the soil. And so the point is, if we know that there is some system that works so efficiently, and for so long, and it's right in front of us, right? So why don't we observe it and learn from it, right?
But one thing I really liked you guys was you went beyond your profession. In a couple of our webinars in Belgium and other places, somebody said Kaizen, somebody said Lean, somebody said 5S. So I'm happy you guys are out of the quality domain.
Widely thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what nature does. So now let's see what we people do. And that's what we do. We take materials from Earth, we make goods out of it, we use them, and we waste them. Now, right? So that's what we call linear economy model. And the thing is that we use items all the time. Wherever you are right now, just look around you. Whatever you see, your laptop, your phone, we have bottles of water here, cup, even the building you are in, everything was manufactured at some point of time, right? And to manufacture everything, we had to take materials from Earth, tremendous amount of materials from Earth. Let's take any example. Let's take a smartphone as an example, but in fact, absolutely any item can be here. So the smartphone was manufactured, we are going to use it, and unfortunately dispose it in the end, right? So this is again our linear model: take, make, use, and waste. So to manufacture a smartphone, we needed materials. Average smartphone consists about 60 different materials. And think about it. I mean, these are just some of them: plastic, glass, lithium, silicon, iron, and so on. Now, to manufacture every material, like it has its own production process, right? Which needs energy use, which causes emissions. And then to process those materials, we had to mine them, right? We had to take these materials from Earth. And at every stage, we have to use transportation, right? So that is again emissions. We use packaging that creates waste. And so, if we open like the full picture is going to be really, really impressive. And that goes for each item we use, right? And in case of smartphone, we are not done with raw materials even when we use the item, because we need to again charge it, and that is electricity. And then for connection, for network, for internet, right, we need to build this tower, satellite. So all this infrastructure still needs to be used, built. And then in the end, what do? We dispose. Now you may argue that no, now we recycle. So we will see a bit later how much we actually recycle.
You see, the beautiful message which Marina just shared with us with a nice example. You see, this is also a question of paradigm, the mindset. When we look at the things, now we should look beyond. If you look at a water bottle or a building or a cell phone or an automobile, behind that there's a whole chain of processes which is contributing to this state of the environmental impact in the world. So this is a major learning, and I'm sure some of you may be aware or have been using the life cycle assessment thinking. There's a standards on that. ISO 14,000 series has that. So the key takeaway is think beyond the object in front of us and see how the linear economy model is operating. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
honestly, when I learned this, I started to see, the real value of every item we use,
Yeah.
right? All right, so now what is the problem with all of this, right? So this is a graph of global material extractions. And look, in the past 50 years, from 1972, we increased it almost 4 times. So today we extract about 100 billion tons of materials per year, each year. And if we continue the business as it is, it's going to only grow. What is the problem again with that? It leads to depletion of resources. They're not infinite, right? Deforestation, we keep removing the forests to mine. Land degradation, it's polluting water, emissions, and always waste.
Yeah. You see, we were reading a report last week, me and Marina, about 500 billion tons, 500 billion tons have been extracted in the last 6 years. And about 70% of the emissions are linked to material extraction. So if you take this number, this thought with the life cycle assessment and our linear economy model of working, how harmful it is. Yeah, thank you.
In the past 6 years, we extracted about the same amount of materials as the entire
20th century.
20th century.
In 100 years, 1901 to 1999, and in this we did it in 6 years. We have become so materialistic.
All right. So here's another data, beautiful graph of global greenhouse gas emissions. And in the past 50 years, we increased it 6 times. That we know that leads to global temperature rise. Again, it is polluting our air. It is causes ocean acidification and climate change. And this is a solid waste generation. So this is with a projection until 2050. It is expected we are going to double it, and that is again air pollution. It is makes our water and soil contaminated, drinking water.
Health issues. I mean, health issue. So many people have to sadly work to sort out the waste and make a living out of that. Scavenging is a big issue in India.
Yeah, just any mine, just imagine like any, sorry, not the mine, any landfill, right? So rain, as simple as it is, rain comes down on the waste, it goes back to the soil, and then it comes to our water. As simple as that, right? Now these are, I call this like puzzles of pieces of puzzles, and this is a beautiful concept called planetary boundaries. Stockholm Resilience Center came up with this model in 2009. So they defined 9 aspects of nature, 9 main aspects of nature. Here's like you see climate change, land system change, fresh water, and so on. And so they defined a boundary. You see this is a green line. This is the boundary. What is the boundary? It is important to understand. It is a safe level to support human life on the planet. Please note, it is human life. This is the biggest misconception, misconception that people talk now about the environment, and we think that it is because we care about the environment. It is because we care about animals. We are far, far away from that level. At this moment, we deal with our own survival. All right. So today, 6 out of 9 planetary boundaries have been crossed. You see these red lines? This is where our current level is. Just the last year sessions with Sunil we did, it was 5 out of 9 were crossed. Now, sadly, we moved to 6. So bottom line, these are the consequences of the linear economy which we are currently operating. But good news, there is a solution for that.
Yeah, perfect. Absolutely. Now, this is where circular economy comes in. I'm sure some of you have heard. See, as I said, it's a mindset change. It is the way we think, it's the way we operate. And it's very simple, beautiful. This concept has come about 10 years back only, but it is catching on like a wildfire in a jungle. The conversations, the regulations, the action plans, like European Union has a full circular economy action plans on that. Now, what really it is, it's in a very simple terms. Essentially, when we are designing things, can we design things to minimize waste or eliminate waste? Can we design something to remove pollution from the entire manufacturing, production, distribution, delivery processes? Can the products be used longer? Can they be easily removed and reused for alternate purposes? Can we regenerate nature in our food farming practices? Essentially, you see this round circle around it. Design and material is the core of it. And then it goes into sales and consumption and reverse logistics. We call it collection and recycling. So the whole concept is it is a system which needs to be changed. And you all are very well placed to understand the language of a system. So let me explain you this in a very simple model developed by the United Nations. You see here, the gray line at the top is the linear economy. We take material from earth, produce it, use it, and we end up into the end of use. In the circular economy, how do we keep the materials in use for a longer period? Take, for example, we start with this orange line they call the design cycle. You start with design. Let's say we design a table and chair which will last for, let's say, 10 years, 15 years. I mean, we had a ceiling fan, table fan in our home in India working for 15 years, 20 years. These days, life is only 3, 5, 7 years. Laptops are designed for 4 years, 3 years, 6 years. Even if they are working, they come out with the new models, and I want to keep it aside, and I want to use a new cell phone. So focus on the design, and once we design, we come to the cycle of the use stage. Now, when it comes to the market, should I really be buying it? You see, the mindset is, oh, it is cheaper than the original price. Oh, there's a bundle offer. This is shopping festival going on. I end up buying even if I don't need it. That's the sad part. So first begins R is refuse. Buy less, buy less frequently. Still, I need to buy it. Then reduce the buying. These purple color circles, as you see, loops, they're sitting with the user. And then even I have made full use of it. Can it be reused? See, when I'm doing this, I'm not buying something new and which has a life cycle perspective, and I'm taking material from earth. I'm okay with the iPhone model 6 or 7 or 8 or 9. I don't have to rush for model 15. Anyway, so once I'm using it, should I get it repaired? The cost of the repair has to be affordable. In some parts of the world, it is cheaper to buy new than to get it repaired. Western world is a classic example of that. When I first time went to US, I saw very good things, refrigerator, sofa, lying on the streets for people to take away. So we should get it repaired so that it lasts longer. But if it cannot be done, then the factories come in the loop. We call it refurbishment, remanufacture. Let's say there's a building 40, 50 years old and we get it retrofitted. It gets a life of 10 years. So we do some engineering to that so that it has a longer life. And then finally, we may have to remanufacture it. We'll give you some examples to support that. Last, you see the blue cycles, and that's where repurposes. Can it be used with some engineering work for an alternate use? You see a lot of examples. Use, let's say demolition waste from a building, you crush it and use it again for reconstruction or into some play area. These used tires, you can reprocess it and make it as a jogging track layer. And last is the recycling. Most of the people think circular economy is recycling, but that's not true. The real circular economy is in this purple green loops.
But starts with orange, as Sunil rightly said, everything starts with the design.
Yeah, in our introduction, Dr. Sender said, we did a project on circular house guidelines for a building. You see, 80-90% of the guidelines were focused on design and material selection. Yeah.
because that's how it all starts. I say that, if you take that linear model, take, make, use, waste, right? And then you bend it somewhere. So, so everything keeps circulating inside this circle. Nothing goes to waste. That's what circular economy
Beautiful.
is. All right. So now we want to go circular, right? We want to increase the rate of circularity. That's what the objective is. Now, for us to understand any success, like any movement, right? We need to measure. We like measurements. And that exists as well. There is a company called the Circle Economy, and they publish a report every year, and they indicate the global rate of circularity. So, what do you think? How circular is the global economy right now? We are displaying the QR code again. Please scan it if you are out of the session, and mark it on the slider. What do you think? How circular is the global economy right now, from 0 to 100%? And we will see your answers. Okay, so we see that average now is 27%. I call it also as a measurement of how optimistic our audience is. So, so let's see. What do you think? Like, how circular economy? How circular is the global economy right now? So, how many? Like, what? How much of materials we manage to keep inside that circle? All right. So we can see quite many opinions already, and on average, it is about 21%. Yeah, we can see it like that. Yeah, so we have one person being very optimistic, and that's also good news. All right, so average is 25 at the moment. So let's see what is the actual number right now. Ready?
Yeah.
Here it is.
See, currently the global rate of circularity is 7%. That means 90% of the 100 billion tons is either wasted, evaporated, lost, or it cannot be reused further. So, this is what the reality is on the ground. Now, the next question is the rate of circularity improving? No. Sadly, with all these big conferences, UN Sustainable Development Goals, COP28, discussions, conversations, publications, papers, sadly, the rate of circularity has been declining. But the question comes to our mind is how much do we need to remain in the boundaries which Marina showed you? And that number is 17. You see, if we are able to put the materials back into use, 17% of, let's say, 100 billion tons, world will be much, much better off and safe and secure and green and beautiful to live and love it.
Yeah, 7% sounds scary because it's so far away from 100, right? But the thing is that as you can see, we don't necessarily need 100% circularity, and it's not even possible, to be 100% circular. So 17% is enough to avoid climate breakdown.
Yeah, just now Marina touched a very beautiful point. We cannot go 100% circular. Let's say fuel. When we drive the car, emissions, they just evaporate in the sky and we cannot capture them and recirculate them. Yeah.
True. Yeah, not every material can be reused. Okay,
Yeah.
so now let's look at the some business models that can help us to transit to circular economy. So this is our baseline here. You see the blue line. This is the same take, make, use, waste, but little bit expanded. So product is designed, materials are sourced, it is manufactured, it is transported, it is being sold, it comes to user, and then end of life. So now let's see at every stage what can be done, what business models can be applied, so we can move to circular economy. See, there are different color lines. So let's start with orange. You see, it is applied at the user stage and actually at every other stage as well. And it's called product service system. So here we sell a service instead of a product. We remove the need of ownership. For example, you may remember that before we used to buy CD discs, and maybe you even remember cassettes, to listen to music, to watch movies. Now we do what? We have applications like Netflix and Spotify, right? So there are no need of producing CD discs anymore. So that means we do not take materials from Earth to produce them, and we do not waste them. You see, so once we remove the ownership, once there is no object that I need to own, so we reduce those parts. Then green lines. That is all about product life extension. Repair and maintain, as Sunil has already covered. Upgrade. Then resell. This is where the line goes back to the producer, right? Or to the logistics or to manufacturing. Upgrade, right? So I was just thinking, what fundamentally changes in those phones when these new models come, right? I mean, the basics remain the same. So can't we just upgrade? Even the look can be upgraded, right? We just need to use our creativity there, right? Sharing platform. You see this purple line is all about users. Again, when we optimize the use of the product, I like asking this question. How many of you have a power drill at home? I have one. You have, Sunil? No?
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I disposed it off finally.
Okay. See, the statistics say, just ask yourself now, how often do you use it if you have it? Statistics say that the average power drill is used 13 minutes in its entire life. 13 minutes. And can you imagine like those complex materials that go into production of this power drill, right? And that is all for us to use it 13 minutes and just to calmly be stored in our drawers, right? So can't we rent it instead? Can't we rent it, use it for whatever it is, and give others to use, right? In this case, we do not produce that many power drills, so we again use less materials. Red lines is design and circular supplies. Here, when we want producers, again, like to think in the beginning, how to build these products to last, to use the materials that are environment friendly. And again, think a lot of about the design, and we want them to think at this stage, what happens with the product at every other stage? What happens to this product at the end of its life? That is, until now, humanity is absolutely missing. When we produce, we don't think what happens at the end of life. And then the blue lines is all about recovery and recycling once the product reaches its end of life.
Yeah, very beautiful example, Marina. You see, I'll just add on to what Marina said about product design cycle B, design circular supplies. You see, let's say there's a battery manufacturer who makes batteries for the car. After 2 years or so, the battery dies. Now, what happens to that battery? Who is responsible for disposal, safe disposal, or reuse, recycling of that battery? It is left to the consumer. Sometimes I throw it away, I sell it, somebody fixes it, and then sells it again. The manufacturer is not responsible for that. Now, this is changing. This is now in many parts of the world, they call it extended producer responsibility. So, this is being enforced as a law regulation in some countries to control and manage And in the end, the batteries are put into the system of circularity. This is just one example of how circular economy concept is being implemented in many parts of the world. Same is going to happen for solar panels, wind turbine blades, which was turbines were set up 20 years back, and so on.
Yeah, so extended producer responsibility means that, if I produced, let's say, 1 million batteries, it is my responsibility to collect back exactly 1 million. How many I said? Yeah. So now there are stages with that, how they go about it. So they start with, I think, 20%, and then it's going to be gradually increased as the system evolves.
Just to give you an idea, in India, this is already in place, and now batteries of the cell phones are also tried to be brought under this control and regulation.
All right. So, yeah, we have just a few examples for you of those organizations that successfully adopted the circular economy principle. So, one of them, and one of my favorite, is Toy Novo. It is in Colombia, and it is about used toys. If you have kids, how much they want always new toys, and how fast they lose interest to the toys that they have. So Toy Novo, they collect used toys and then they rent them instead of selling. So in this case, family can take a toy, the child can play with it, and then return it. And there are also some systems like, you can exchange a toy to a service that you need more, or to the items that you need more. Sometimes, parents need more of some hygiene materials instead of toys. So that is all Toy Novo adapted, and it works.
And kids also get bored playing with the same toy. Sometimes in few minutes they are done with.
Not interested, yeah. And so then toys just getting piled up, right? So they adopted this product as a service system. There is no ownership, right? You borrow and you return. And also they adopt product life extension, because they keep maintaining.
Like a library, it's a subscription based
Exactly. Another good example is Brommen Town Hall in Netherlands. This is the building constructed as a Lego. So 90% of these materials can be reused, and instead of demolishing this building, it can be dismantled at the end of its life, and the components can be reused again. And apart from that, there is a material passport for this building. So basically, there is a database where all the components and materials of these buildings are listed. So by the end of life of this building, we know exactly how many materials are there, what are the components, how long they have been in use, and how much of life there is still potential to reuse it.
Yeah. Just now, Marina used the word, what, material passport? What is that? Would you
Passport.
like to tell us?
Yes, that is
more?
a wonderful concept that actually enables this circularity. Because the problem now, like, even if I want, with all my great intentions, and I want to reuse the product, and I want to instead of disposing it, I want to see what materials can be used there, but I simply don't know what is that. How long was it in use? Was it recycled before or not? So material passport solves exactly this problem. It is listing each component and each material of the product. So those who deal with this product at the end of its life know exactly what they can do with it.
Yeah, you'll see a good example in the next slide. Now, this is a beautiful example of a leadership commitment to circular economy. Renault Group, as you know, they are one of the largest manufacturers of car. They have set up something called Refactory near Paris. You see, what they do is they arrange components through the supply chain where they use materials. And then they have, if you allow me to say, like a digital passport. It has a history of that product. They test it. Is it fit for use? Yes. If no, they sort it out, not repurpose it, refurbish it, maintain it, bring it up to speed, and use it into the new car. So you can imagine the supply chain and the material and the identification and traceability. As you know, a lot of you are quality professionals, in ISO 9000 standard, identification and traceability, which is fundamental to digital material passports. So here is a beautiful example where we design a car having used materials, components, inspection, testing, everything is there. And then there's a recovery, recycling loop of circular economy, and you extend the life of that component. That's a brake shoes or compressor or a fan belt or whatever it is. So this is happening actually in the world. It's not just a story. Now, subscription is a model. I'm sure rent a car is a very famous Airbnb, things like that. But this is about the speakers, headphones. Many a times, these headphones get damaged, the wire becomes loose. So this again is subscription model. You pay, let's say, some money on an annual basis, and they will send you the headphone of your choice. After a couple of months, it got damaged. You can arrange to return it and get a new one. And they will fix it and then put it back into use again for somebody else to use it. So that's how the manufacture of new headphones has been reduced, and they are not lying in the drawers of our homes.
I have that headphone. I'm sure many of us they do. Just one side is broken. You can feel that the wire is disconnected. Now what? Now I have to throw the whole thing. Honestly, for me, just finding someone who can repair it is absolutely not easy. So this organization, repeat, they make it easy to repair it and also to purchase separate parts, because that's how you can see it on the image. You see, each parts are easily can be assembled and disassembled, so it's easy to replace.
It's all design. See, in the end, it's a modular way of working. Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
All right, so that is what circular economy does. When we apply circular economy principles, that's what we do. So we reduce the take part, right? As we've already many times said, if we do this, we take less materials from Earth, right? So we reduce the take part. We reduce the make part. Again, we make less less products, so we reduce greenhouse gas emissions. We increase the use part, right? So I mean, we maintain the products in use as much as possible, and as a result, waste will go down as well.
Yeah, beautiful. Now, we are obsessed with GDP numbers. It's been a measure by the economists going on for years, decades. World Bank, IMF, Asian Development Bank, they keep reporting. But the GDP thing does not look into the human well being, welfare, environment, and all that. So, this study, what it does, it maps the GDP to human development. And what they did, they mapped the countries who are very high on GDP and what is the state of their human development. And they came out with this kind of three clusters of data. A lot of your statisticians or use QC tools, techniques. You see, there are three clusters. Now, if you look at the blue dots, which are, at the bottom on the middle of the x-axis, you see they are a little low on human development and also low on GDP. The vertical axis is the GDP. Yeah. So, sorry, it's their footprint into the environment. So they are still living within the environment means, but they still have a lot of prosperity to catch on. They have to build infrastructures, school, ports, buildings, mobility, everything. So eventually their footprint can go up, and prosperity will push them towards the right or towards one. Now, the advice for them, they call it build countries. That means they must build the country while keeping the environmental footprint. So there's a huge opportunity for circularity over there because they have to build a lot of mining and extraction of materials will take place. So they should have a different strategy, and the funding given by multilateral agencies should put these regulations on them. Then there is a middle one, which we call it grow countries. They're reasonably prosperous, but they still have to catch up on their prosperity side, move towards right. But while doing that, they should not increase the footprint like countries like India, China, and so on and so forth. Still, millions are working on it.
Yeah. So this on the y-axis is actually number of planets the country needs to support the all the needs and wants of their citizens. So you see the built countries, the ones in blue, they are within the one planet resources, you see, and whoever is higher than that, see the middle countries, they need already two. So currently they live in a way, they keep taking materials from earth in a way as if they have two planets to live on.
And same goes to the last one, is the shift one. There's like US, Canada, Australia, Japan. They're consuming so much, though they are very prosperous, but the overconsumption is causing them to have 2 to 4 planets to live on.
Yeah. So that is all, here what we're talking about is inequality, right? In the world, and how different countries actually contribute to the problem that we face. And here the green box is that ideal state of two components where we are ecologically safe and we are also socially just. As you can see, none of the countries are here yet.
There's a sweet spot. So these ones, the shift countries, where you see this cycle, they have to come down, they reduce their footprint. These countries, as they move towards right, they need to be very well aware of the environment footprint, and they also need to come down towards this direction.
All right, so now, yeah, I think also, sorry, going back, you can estimate where your own country
Philippines,
is, right? Yes,
Yeah.
so you can make sense which direction you're able to
Yeah.
move.
And why we showed this, when you have conversations with the government leaders, we'll tell you which agency in Philippines is working on circular economy. This is the level of conversation which can be the driver or motivation for change for political and civil service, public service professionals.
Yeah, so while preparing, actually, I was very happy. We both saw that there are quite a lot happening in Philippines, and this is the organization we wanted to tell you about. Maybe you actually heard of it. It's called Circular, and it is established by British Council and Ellen MacArthur Foundation. And the organization is focuses on four sectors of economies. Fashion, because apparently there is a lot of consumption of this fast fashion product, so we quickly use it and then we dispose it. Food waste, although there is serious food insecurity in Philippines, still there is a lot of food waste. Plastic, the whole waste management system have opportunities to improve. And then electronic waste, I think that is actually common for the entire world. The way we dispose it and the way we deal, and it's growing and growing industry.
Just the router, here it's also a prosperous country, UAE. You just change home. The telecom company will say you need a new router. Why? What happened to the old one? Oh, no, no, this is the new software. It will not work anymore. Every home, every office you open, there are cables, there are flash drives, and there are laptops and screens.
And even when you shift, I mean, somebody comes to live in your previous apartment, and even themselves they cannot use that router. So every time you have to change it, and you just have this question: so what do I do with it?
Yeah.
You know, and some people don't even ask this question, right?
Yeah.
They just dispose it.
Yeah.
And so the circular also they publish a report about circular economy state in the country, and as you can see on the left graph, that is the number of initiatives that were captured. In 2019 it was only 24, and so the latest report was 2022. So by 2021 it was already 285 initiatives in the country. And here's that the sectors that initiatives belong to. In 2019, the main sector was food. Now it is others, and the others is about financial services, education, healthcare. So 26% is about that. Then good number is about cities, and that is a very good indicator because built environment cities is transportation, logistics, buildings, infrastructure, roads. That is all come here, and that is one of the greatest contributors to the environmental impact. And then manufacturing, that is also one of the main sectors. And then food and beverages.
Just to build on what Marina about the cities, we recently attended a Bloomberg COP28 Green Summit, and a book was presented to us by Michael Bloomberg and Carl Hope. Michael Bloomberg was the mayor of New York, and he has a chapter on how he changed the whole layout of cities. He created more green spaces, he created more walking spaces, he created more paths for cycling. He took away the roads from the cars. They said, go and park somewhere away. He invested extensively in the public transportation system, the trams and all that. So, and buildings, retrofit standards to make buildings green, put plants on the rooftop. As simple as that, painting the rooftop with white color will reflect the sunlight, and you don't need that much of heating, cooling. And then in winters, the bulk of the consumption of electricity is by the heating escaping from the building. The insulation is not done well. So city is design, city planning, there's a tremendous opportunity. People working in the town planning department, and if you are one of them or you engage with them, I strongly recommend you can read this book, Climate of Hope, and there's a beautiful tips around it, how the cities and the mayors can work together with people to make them more green, healthier, livelier. Yeah.
The way we design cities, indeed, so much influence in just my daily activities. Now, so the building I live in, there are no pathways around. I cannot go anywhere without taking a car. And the city is so large that again, to reach anywhere you need a car.
Yeah.
So that's indeed again about the design, as we've already said. Now this is an interesting document, and you might be interested also to research it and to find it. It is published by National Economic and Development Authority in Philippines, and it is called Philippine Action Plan for Sustainable Consumption and Production. And you can see here's the vision, goal, outcome. You will be able to actually correctly read the vision more than we can do. But what we wanted to focus here is about the actions, what we need to come to that vision, right? To come to that sustainable consumption and production. And for that, we need policy and regulations. That all starts from there. Research and development, innovations, technology. This is where we have to use our creativity, and thank God we have that ability. We need to build that infrastructure to enable circularity and sustainability, and promotion and education. That is, I think, one of the main as
Like
well.
we are doing it now.
Exactly, just raising the awareness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next, yeah. Okay. Let's go to a good example.
Some examples, yeah, from Philippines. As we said, like quite many things are happening. So this eco store, they supply household items, and they absolutely eliminate packaging. That single-use packaging that we come home with, hand wash, shower gel, and even food items, right? So we use it it's in the plastic bottle, and then what do we do with the plastic bottle? We just throw it away. So this store is works without the packaging. So you come with your own packaging, you refill it, and then you take it home, right? This is a great platform called PSA. I'm not sure if I pronounce it correctly. So it is a platform that connects buyers and sellers of used car spare parts, right? So if I have some spare parts and I don't know what to do with it, I just go on that platform, I place it there, and whoever needs it can buy it from me. So again, we reduce waste, right? And we reduce buying of new spare parts if I cannot find the used ones.
Yeah. Excellent, beautiful examples. Almost coming to the end, just a couple of slides. You see, some of you may be thinking, all this, talk, what is the opportunity for me? What should I do next? I'll share with you, and maybe Marina can add, what, how many wonderful opportunities we have as quality professionals. You see, I'm sure a lot of you work toward driving out waste in your organizations. You are working on improving the productivity, performance, and all that. The circular economy subject has a lot of opportunities. First and foremost, new skill sets are needed, new competencies are needed. Let's say design thinking is needed. Take, for example, if you're a designer, you want to know which material should I use. Does the material has environmental disclosure? You see, when I'm buying food, it tells me how many calories and how much is the cholesterol and fat and trans fat and all that. But materials don't have that information yet. So some countries in Europe, Scandinavia are putting regulations. Materials should have environmental disclosures. So there's a full set of science around it. How to calculate greenhouse gas emissions in your operations, in your offices, in your factories, in your logistics, warehouses, spare parts. There's a standard on that by ISO and GHG. Then you may also like to develop work around digital material passports. Is he using the techniques of identification traceability? So lot of opportunities, inspection, testing, developing training programs, course materials on circular economy, certifying people around that. So you can teach, you can have a curriculum developed for colleges and universities and schools. And a lot of you are familiar with these standards. You see, there's a new series of standards. Draft versions have been issued. They should be out this series, which is 59,000 series on circular economy. Measurement is a big subject. I think we all quality professionals love measures, objectives, set up a circular economy as part of agenda for the leadership, into the strategy, into job descriptions, set up KPIs, set up, all these performance management tools don't have measurements around circularity. How do we set targets for that? So there's beautiful amount of opportunities available for us. And the next 10, 15 years, world building WBC, World Business Council for Sustainable Development says it will be $4.5 trillion economy by 2030 and World Bank estimates it will be about $20 trillion by 2050. I'm sure we quality professionals are very well placed with this new wonderful world of opportunities. Anything? Okay. And then we come to the last slide. I'm sure all of you, most of you are familiar with the Sustainable Development Goals. You see, me and Marina got really interested in about 7, 8 months while looking at this goal number 12, responsible consumption and production. And that started the conversation around circular economy globally. And as we give the example of sustainable cities and communities, housing is the second largest polluter. I mean, about 40% of it, right? Food, mobility, and housing are one of the three top contributors. So you may like to look at this, read more on goal number 12, and make an impact and difference. You see, circular economy goes into many aspects of these SDGs. You look at goal 6, you look at goal 3, you look at goal 11, take goal life under water, climate action, goal number 13. And goal number 17 is strategic partnership to make an impact. So collaborations is at the heart of it. With this, we thank you and look forward to any questions. Hopefully we can answer, and thank you very much for the opportunity to share our little experience on this subject. Over to you, Dr. Ray and Dr. Sandra.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sir Sunil and Ma'am Marina, for delivering a thorough and enlightening presentation. So your expertise and insights really have illuminated the path toward a sustainable and circular future, leaving an indelible mark on our understanding of this crucial subject. What struck me most is that um the local economy is widely perceived to be far from achieving full, as you have mentioned, or 70% circularity. And it's nice that here in the Philippines we have about 280 initiatives to actively embracing and implementing these circular economy principles. This is truly a remarkable source of inspiration. And the depth of knowledge you have shared, coupled with real world examples and the practical implications, you have undoubtedly enriched our perspectives on this circular economy. So we're now opening the digital space for questions and encourage our participants to share their key takeaways. So for you to be properly acknowledged, kindly include your name and your company or the affiliation you have in our comment box. You can type in there your question, or you can um, unmute yourself and raise your question. So anyone in our digital space can already ask a question. You can see. Anyone would like to raise questions?
Yeah, this one.
Well, I'll raise the first question, Sir Sunil and Ma'am Marina, because nowadays we are really deep diving into innovation and technology. So, how do you think can this help the companies or organizations, particularly here in the Philippines, to fully embrace a circular economy?
Sorry, can you say the question again,
Sorry.
Dr. Sandra? What can companies do to embrace circular economy?
Yes, sir. My question would be, because we are more on nowadays we are more of innovation and technology. So how can we leverage the use of technology in fully embracing or utilizing or implementing circular economy?
Good, yeah, very nice. I mean, you see, innovation is, let me look at both the points. Innovation is absolutely fundamental and central to circular economy. For example, there is an organization, it has developed a cement which has a negative carbon footprint. You see, limestone, which goes into manufacturing of cement, is one of the largest polluters in the world. Same is in hydrogen, green hydrogen being used as a fuel, right? So innovation which is impacting the climate is one very good example. Coming to the technology, you see, without digital IoT, Internet of Things, it is very difficult to trace the material in its journey. Let me give you an example of Maersk shipping lines. You see, they are building triple E class ships from used steel. You see, ship is 90% steel and metal. So when the ship has ended its life, they get steel from there, material from there, and they do the testing. Is it fit for use or not? Now, while the old ship was in use, this compressor, engine, machines were repaired and all that. So digital passports are needed to trace the history and performance of that component or a system or a product. So all that is needed. Now, if you look at a building, suppose a building in circular economy, you need not buy an elevator in a multi-story. Mitsubishi will give you an elevator which can be used as a service. So technology is needed to have a full record of the use and maintenance of that elevator. And after, let's say, 30 years, 40 years, building is dismantled, not demolished, dismantled, then you can open up the elevator and look at the digital record and then fix it and install somewhere else. So digitization is very critical of the use of materials in circularity. Yeah.
Let me add a bit simpler examples of innovations as well to to what Sunil said. It can be as simple as I was researching. There is a toothbrush. Like what we do now with a toothbrush, we buy the whole thing and then we throw again the whole thing every like a few
Buy
months, right?
another one.
Now, what we actually need to change? Only that part where the brush is, right? I mean, so now there's a toothbrush that can exactly like detach only the brush, and then you purchase only that part. It's such a simple thing, but someone needs to think about it. Someone needs to
That's
um,
amazing.
see the object that we that the item that we see from our very early age, right? And we're so used to it. That's why we cannot even think of something like that. This is very easy, a very simple example of innovation, but it is innovation and it is impactful innovation. Then toothpaste, so what is it now? It is a tube, right, that we use, and we throw this away. Now there is a toothpaste in the shape of tablets. It comes in it still needs packaging. Maybe it can go without the packaging, but there is no tube. We don't throw this away, so the shape, the form of a product change, and it simply minimizes waste. This is a simple innovation.
Yeah, good. You see, there are a few questions in the chat. Can you go up?
Yes, we have some
Yeah,
questions
this
here.
is
Thank you so
from
much for the.
Leah.
Let her.
Thank you so much,
Yeah,
Sir
this
Sunil and Ma'am Marina.
questions,
So, yeah, we
you will
have
be
some questions
moderating. There are
here.
some questions. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Leah,
I will do the
Sienna.
moderation.
Yeah,
So
please.
from
Yeah.
Shena Mijarito, she's asking, are there specific transformation cases in paper packaging materials that you can share, or paper packaging companies that have successfully shifted that you can mention? Thank you. That's from Shena Mediarito.
Paper.
Paper packaging materials. um yeah, I mean, it's a industry that definitely have opportunities. So first of all, as we've seen in one of the examples, sometimes packaging can be eliminated in the first place, right? So can we think from that perspective? And then if a product definitely needs to be packed, can the packaging itself be reused? I'm not an expert, of course, in the packaging, and I mean how suitable it is for reuse. But there are examples of organizations that came up with reusable packaging. At least 40 times it can be reused. Yeah, so that opportunity can be there as well.
Yeah.
Thank you so
I
much,
mean,
Ma'am Marina,
nothing
for
more comes to
answering.
it.
So we have another question here from Miss Leia Marisa Domingo. She said she was very impressed with your presentation and she's thanking you for sharing your expertise about circular economy. Her question is, what do you think is the greatest barrier in adopting the circular economy? And she's more inclined to that, believing that this can be done even at home as a microcosm. So she wants to solicit your opinion on this one.
Yeah,
So
very
what
good
is
question. Yeah. Uh, yeah.
Yeah, let me talk
So,
about the barrier. I mean, this is what we touched upon a little bit about the GDP, right? As one of the measurements, actually main measurements of country success, right? And we now we measure it with GDP. And what is essentially GDP is that number of products that were produced and sold, right? And that is in the first place, this is the main barrier, you know. From one side we say, please do not sell, do not buy that much. From the other side, country wants us to buy, you know, because the whole economy is rising on the number of products we are able to produce and buy. So that is for me, this is the greatest barrier. So until the time we come up with, you know, with different way of measuring the success and different way of actually managing all our lifestyles, this is a great
yeah.
barrier.
I'll add to few more. It's a very good. You see, at an individual level, I'll say at an individual level, corporate level, and a political or a government level and technology level. At an individual level, consumerism. This drive. You see, I'm wearing a latest watch or a phone or latest style, fashion. Billions of clothes are wasted every year. So that's consumerism side. Am I willing to give away my car and go in a public transport? That's one. Show off, attitude. Now, if you come to corporate level, there are many, but it starts with the leadership. Leadership is still focused on return on investment, cash flow, profitability. There are no strategic measures around environment and all that. Third is the technology available to support circularity. We spoke a lot. Fourth is the government itself, the regulations. Okay, I may have a policy, but are people complying with that? Is corporate world doing greenwashing? Are they really implementing it? So there are a lot of barriers around it. And then is the cost. Okay, I have a green product, but it is costlier. Will I buy that? Things like that. Yeah. And at home, I think circular economy, I personally think, is practiced the most at home. I've seen, things as good as starting with a used cloth. I make it as a,
Wiper.
wipe, just to clean the table. We keep in India, we used to give away old newspapers and get utensils. We used to send tires for retrading, vulcanizing. Yeah, okay, enough really on this. Yeah, thank you. You are muted, doctor.
Apologies. So we have another two sets of questions. One is from Albert. He is from Braid International Corporation, a construction and manufacturing company. So his question is, will this circular economy or circularity models be applied to uh, construction and manufacturing? So he said that he is the operations manager of that company, and what steps should they take to adopt to this circularity model? Because currently he's saying that there are slow moving materials and equipment that are frequently used, but they are just stored and they have been there for almost a year.
Yeah. Should I take it? Yeah.
Mhm.
You see, very good. We did this project on circular economy, which was launched during UN conference COP28. Two good things we learned. The buildings need cooling systems. right?
Mhm.
Now, there is a company here, they signed an agreement, cooling as a service. Instead of buying chillers and putting all these air conditioning systems, so this company provides cooling as a service. This agreement was signed between Johnson Control and Aldar, the developer here. Just a simple example of this thing. Then the materials used, yeah, you want to say
Yeah,
something?
sorry.
Yeah.
Continue.
Yeah. Then the materials used. Let's say in building, can we continue this concept of product as a service? The example of elevator I gave, right? We gave actually. Now, coming to the design of the building, you can do a lot, a lot, a lot. Take a very simple example. When you're designing a building, can it be designed that it can be dismantled rather than demolished? Can you bring architects, quantity surveyors, developers, material suppliers, facility management companies, recycling companies, dem- demolish waste audit firms together at the beginning of the design of the building? You see, there is the whole end of life from start to end, the whole process is fragmented. Architects are working in their own world, facility management are working in their own world, waste management companies are in their own world. At construction site, is there a circular economy professional? Do they have a site for segregation and sorting and treating of excess material? So a lot can be done. Maybe we can give you consulting services, Mr. Albert, on this. Thank you. Over to you. Yeah. Anything
Thank
to
you
add?
so much, Sir Sunil. Another question from Prince. He is from Wear Forward, which is championing circular fashion here in the Philippines. So he's thanking you for sharing your expertise and your insights. So considering your journey of there at UAE and other developed countries into embracing circular economy, are there specific sectors or industries that you think the government of developing countries like the Philippines should prioritize for the CE transformation, and what frameworks or policies are being employed successfully by your national government to drive change in these areas?
Thanks. Yeah, that's a great question. And as we said, like one of the first action that we need is the government policies and regulations. And so many countries actually now came up with the regulations in a circular economy, and some of them are actually even in the form of laws, not only like recommendations, you know. And when we talk about the UAE, the UAE has circular economy policy that which was developed for 10 years, starting from 2021, and that regulates four industries, and four industries are not taken just, you know, just randomly. They're taken exactly from their environmental impact. So four main industries that now polluting and impacting the most are transportation, built environment, buildings, yeah, roads, infrastructure, food, and manufacturing. So at this point, these four main industries are regulated by the circular economy policy in the UAE. And yeah, so and quite a lot of initiatives and already adopted models.
Istidama
uh,
framework.
yes, in Abu Dhabi there is a full sustainability framework. It's called Estidama. Estidama in Arabic means sustainability, and it is quite a holistic approach to how we build the buildings, houses, actually considering the local environment as well, because as you may be aware that the UAE is has this harsh desert climate, and a lot of, you know, insulation comes into picture, how to prevent this loss of cool air which is inside. And the thing is that now, climate change means temperature rises. Temperature rises, we need to cool down the houses even more, and that is like a like a never-ending circle that we are kind of trapped in. Yeah, anything on the
Is that
government?
fine? Yeah. Why? What are your policies are being unsuccessful? Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. I think we answered that one. Yeah.
Yeah, and for Philippines, yeah, so we've already seen those also four industries that are currently indicated as the as to give priority to is the fashion, food, electronic waste, and plastic. So that's the opportunity for Philippines.
Thank you so much. We have one last question here from Hipolita Aldavano. The use of sachet in different products contributes much waste in the environment. Any idea or thoughts how the government would go about this?
Don't buy it. That's it. Don't buy it. You see, start with consumerism. The single waste, 90% doesn't get recycled, doesn't get captured in the system.
Yeah, this is also, simple thing as like, uh, for example, solid soap is preferable for the environment than hand wash which comes into the plastic bottle. It's a simple thing. Like, I mean, if I give priority as a consumer to this product, simply that a company or that product is not going to be uh, successful. Yeah, that's what we have to think about it. Or those products that are sold in a concentrated form, that instead of this dissolved what you call that, the detergent, in the big bottle, it will be concentrated, and then you mix it with water at home, so you buy much less, the packaging is much less, and then you can use it for longer. So yeah, that's these are the examples that fortunately world come up with now.
Thank you so much for answering all the questions, Sunil and Marina. So at this point, our participants will be receiving their certificates once they have evaluated. Okay, and you can see the QR code there visible on your screen for direct access to our post-evaluation survey. Your feedback is immensely valuable to us, and all our participants will be receiving their certificates via email.
Yeah, great. And we'll be really thankful if you can share the feedback with us for our learning. And this is a very well attended event. Dr. Ray, Dr. Sandra, and the whole PSQ team. And we have this our 10th or 12th event. We have done few in person, but very well attended, and we are really happy and proud. And thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you as well for sharing us your time and your knowledge. So we would like to present the certificate of appreciation to our resource speakers for imparting valuable insights and inspiration to our participants during this PSQ's January 2024 international webinar titled Shifting from Linear to Circular Economy Need and Impact, signed by our society's president, Dr. Ray Framista. The Philippine Society for Quality awards this certificate of appreciation to Sunil Sawani. A warm round of applause, please. And of course, Marina Pukachev.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Have a lovely evening.
So, thank you so much.
Thank
Now, allow
you.
me to
Bye bye.
introduce the Philippine Society for PSQ and outline its mandate and activities for 2024. We have been established on May 17, 1969, in collaboration with the Productivity Development Center and 64 charter members, and we stand as a distinguished national organization operating as a non-stock, non-profit entity. We are committed to promoting and advancing quality practices across diverse nations. So we are inviting every one of you to join us in our mission to elevate the standards and champion quality excellence in the Philippines. And flash on your screen is the vision. Following is the mission of the society, because in this dynamic and ever evolving landscape, we stand as a beacon guiding individuals and organizations toward the pinnacle of quality. And we have invited renowned quality gurus throughout the years We have partnered with different local and international organizations for collaborative projects, which will greatly benefit our members. So flash on your screens are some of our partner organizations. And in alignment with our vision, we consistently offer pertinent training and certification activities tailored to the evolving needs of industries. And moreover, our society oversees prestigious awards, including the Duran Medal, Quality Manager of the Year Award, Philippine Best Practice Award, and several others. And the members of the society enjoys the benefits also, a lot of benefits. So if you want to be part of us, kindly send us a message. And also PSQ facilitates the highest national recognition for exemplary organizational performance of private and public organizations in the country. And PSQ is a private administrator of the Philippine Quality Award. So you can also maximize your PSQ membership by actively participating in the various committees highlighted on your screen. So get involved, be engaged, and let's collectively contribute to building a quality-driven nation. And you can also consider becoming a part of the various PSQ technical hubs. We have Lean Six Sigma, quality management, Kaizen, innovation and digital thinking, and the Educators Network. So together, let us embark on projects that uplift the standard of quality across all aspects of our work. And additionally, we encourage you to share your knowledge and quality insights by submitting articles for our PSQ's uh, Nation magazine. For more details, kindly refer to the information displayed on your screen. And as part of our communication initiatives to connect with our members, consider joining the PSQ Community Viber channel to stay informed about the various activities of the society. And for this month, for the forthcoming month, February 2024, we have two exciting training activities scheduled for you: the Certified Digital Transformation Professional and the Data Protection Officer. So kindly find the detailed schedules displayed on the screen, and also stay enthusiastic and ready to absorb knowledge for our upcoming national webinar on February 5, 2024, with the captivating topic AI for Quality. And additionally, we extend also our invitation to all PSQ members to participate in our general membership meeting. This is scheduled for February 24 of 2024. And we have arranged for a speaker to delve into the topics of digitalization and sustainability in the supply chain. So once again, details are displayed or flashed on your screen. Okay. And next one, in collaboration, of course, this is a big project of the society. In collaboration with the Indonesia Quality and Productivity Management Association, the society is thrilled to host the 2024 International Quality and Productivity Convention. And this event is scheduled to take place from September 9 to 12 of 2024 at the Manila Hotel. So please mark your calendars. And as well, the 34th National Quality Forum is set to take place on September 12 to 13, immediately following the 2024 International Quality and Productivity Convention at the Manila Hotel. So if you are interested, kindly please reach out to our secretariat or visit our website www.psq.org.ph and our social media pages as well for more details. So once again, feel free to email our secretariat at secretariat@psq.org.ph. And as we conclude this afternoon's webinar, we express our gratitude to everyone present with a special acknowledgement to our participants and esteemed resource speakers, Sunil and Marina. And we eagerly anticipate your participation in the diverse activities planned by the society. Thank you so much and enjoy the rest of the day.
You too. You too.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.